So we are live. So welcome everyone to Layfab's websites meeting. And today is 12th of February 2024. And this is a weekly meeting that happens every Monday. And we do cover a lot of websites that are there in the community. Also like UI UX items and the work in progress items on system design system. So all these websites that you see, if you have any item, or PR or issues open, or if you want any help regarding any of these websites, you can feel free to, mention them in this docs link, docs right here. I have already shared it in the chat, but for those of you who have just joined the meeting, I'll once again make sure that I share this link with you all. Also, please don't forget to mark your attendance. So you can write your name in the attendees list right here. So we'll be covering items that are there in the meeting minutes. But before that, first of all, good morning to everyone. And yeah, good evening to those of you who, reside inside the IST time zone. So before starting the meetings, we'll follow our, weekly tradition. And that is, if you are joining this call for the first time, so you get to take the mic, you can, introduce yourself. Why are you here? How did you come to know about the community? So I'll look for any of the potential newcomers. So Ayush Sharma, is it the first time that you're joining websites meeting?
No, Vivek, this is my fifth time, I think. I was not active for last 2 weeks.
Yeah, glad to have you back. And I'll also request Saurabh to please send this reminder in the chat channel so that others can also join.
Nice. Hey, Ayush, what's your GitHub username?
It's Ayush844.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Just trying to identify my Ayush's.
I see like a couple of 8 to 9 participants in the Zoom, but you all have not written your name. So once again, I'll request to please write your name in the attendees. And
Oops.
so with that,
At what point do you start kicking people out for that? I better go get mine in. Besides, at 10 after you kick out folks that haven't put it in?
yeah, so everybody would make sure that they write their names.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I'm serious. I'm serious. At 10 after you kick people out? Okay. All right. I've got mine in.
no, I don't kick people out for this.
Oh, I will. I'll kick them out. If people aren't here to participate, then that's fine. They cannot be here. Let's see. We've got Vivek, Saurabh, Archit, some guy named Ayush. Just kidding, Mr. Sharma.
So it would be good if you all of you have your videos up. So sorry to interrupt you, Lee.
Oh yeah, no. Good. I think we're there.
Yeah. So then let's start with the items. So first item is from Archit on layerfire.io. So Archit, would you mind sharing your item?
Yeah, sure. So like we are restructuring layer5.io with the new Figma sitemap. So like with this PR, I have like restructured the products pages. So basically like we have Meshry and Mesh map and the Figma under product. So like they have been restructured. Now the path is not the /cloud native, but it's now /products, then slash.
Yeah, whoa. When did we decide that? Oh, back up the now is that part of a decision from the sitemap or?
Yes, it's like it was on the sitemap.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Good. Thanks for calling it out.
Yeah, the Meshry and Mesh map pages. So
Okay. Huh. I'm having a hard time with that one. Okay. Let's think about that. What's the advantage of having the /products versus the cloud native management?
I think it's more meaningful according to the sections we have, like solutions, products. We have already merged the PR for solutions, where we have like changed the path to the solution, and
Okay,
this
good.
one is for like the products. So
Yeah, the solutions were never in the right place. There were never actually any solution pages. We hadn't made them yet. And now that we're making them good, they'll be under solutions. But it's having the product pages under products is more meaningful to us as people who create the site. And it's helpful in the way in which our brains organize the site. However, it's not more meaningful to Google. It's not more meaningful to necessarily to site visitors. It can help them maybe structure the difference between a project and a product. However, it doesn't qualify what it is. It doesn't say what the thing actually is. Whereas cloud native management, it does. And so it's something that we should think about. Something we should think about.
sure, then we'll have more feedback on this. So that's it from my side. So
Wait, go over the changes. So what's new? Just the site structure, or there are new pages?
actually, I've changed all the links here, which were /cloud native, Meshry, and Meshmap, and changed them to actually /products. So
Yeah. Why do you need I don't understand the question mark desktop? Why do you need that?
I don't
Why
know.
would-
It was already in the lighthouse.js.
What's that for anyway? That's for when Lighthouse is running, you're running Lighthouse tests for it to test desktop versus mobile mode, or it's a good thing. You should answer that. You should learn something as we go here on this thing. I mean,
Oh, sorry.
oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so that's for Lighthouse. So what else? Node.js. So we're entering in redirects so that any old links redirect to the new
Yes,
links.
like I've added redirects too, and there
Okay.
were a lot of blog posts where like these links were mentioned, so I've like changed them.
And there is a there's a link to Layer5io/meshmap. Is that being redirected as well?
I think so.
I mean, it is being redirected today. It better be. Right, it is. I'm just asking your PR if you changed it. You accidentally misspelled it. That's why it's not showing up.
Yeah. Yes, it's actually being redirected to cloud native management.
Yeah,
Meshmap.
but
So
that's
like
not. Yeah, yes, yeah. That's not my question. I mean, I know that that's happening. I'm saying in your PR, is that path?
yes, I remember doing that actually. I did that.
Cool. Okay, yeah, let's think about this more. Why are some things like did they say that there's only like 86 changes in here?
Yeah, 84 files have been
Yeah,
changed.
that doesn't. How many integrations have we published? Because if you're changing the path for every integration, why is there only 84 pages changed?
Like it's not being integration pages are not being changed here. All
Really?
the other
I just saw it down below. It looked like they were. And if they're not, there was an Argo CD one. Maybe I'm confused. It is early.
So
Yeah, if you search for Argo, and if I'm right and it's this early in the morning over here, then you're in big trouble. Because especially with you telling me it's not. So if you type in Argo,
I'm trying to, but it's not letting me type in it.
yeah, sometimes on GitHub reviews like this, if Sometimes we'll have thousands of pages that have been changed. Ooh,
Yeah.
it gets a little slow.
We don't
You
have.
can use your browser's what do you call it?
Would help, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I know that I saw Argo CD in there. I'll go look.
I think probably like for every integration before we had like this path slash cloud native management slash integrations. I guess
Yeah.
what he is changing is making it slash product slash integration. Something on this along these lines will be happening, I guess.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was yeah, which is exactly not what Archit just said. He said he wasn't doing it. So I'd like to know, are we doing it? Or are we not?
Yes, we are doing it actually.
Okay.
Chip, what
then-
would help here is like
Eh,
if you could open the preview link and you can showcase, then it would be helpful to.
Yeah, so like if I go to products mastery page,
yeah, guys, I see it right now. I see the change in Gatsby Node.js. There's exactly the same change that you just mentioned, which has me quite concerned because there's only 84 changes. That means we're not changing them all. Why do we have we have a redirect for the Argo CD operator page, but none of the other pages? That's odd. Maybe you guys were trying to consolidate the Argos at one point. Maybe that's why it's there, but here,
Okay,
maybe
so-
I should. You can
okay,
use
so
your
this
browser.
one,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like this redirect was like already on the Gatsby Node.js, and basically it had the cloud native management. So I like
Uh-huh.
changed product.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's not
There's a bunch.
something I added.
I know. Well, there's a bunch of things wrong with this whole conversation. One, don't ever respond with like, "Well, I didn't do it. It was already there." Like, okay, great, but that's not a good answer. It's not a good answer. Should we accept these changes or not? Was that a good change in the first place? I don't know. Like, it's not a good answer. The second thing is when I asked you if we were moving them, it was no, we're not moving them. Well, if we're not moving them, why are we changing this redirect? And if this one's changing, why aren't the rest changing? So I got that's like 3 questions. 1, know what you're changing. 2, yeah, anyway. So Archit, what are you thinking? What are we gonna do?
Maybe I'll just reconsider it again and
Yep. Are you intending to move the pages or no? I mean, I know you're going to reconsider it, but were you thinking of moving them or not?
sure, like now I will. I mean,
You'll give it some more thought. That's great and stuff. But I just mean of what you were intending to do prior to me interjecting. Maybe it was just a half. Maybe this is just something you missed. you're
yeah,
not quite-
it's like I didn't knew about it earlier, so now I'll take a look at it.
It's super dangerous to do a find all across the whole code base and a find and replace, and change it. Right. If you're not considering what each one is changing. Right? Is that what you did? Archit, I'm trying to talk to you. Is that what you did or no?
Yes, like this was what I was trying to do. Basically I was like trying to search everywhere, like where the cloud native management this path was being referenced, and was changing it to the new path.
Cool.
But-
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And part of that, like, I guess specifically on the integration pages, do you know what your objective was?
No, I didn't knew about it until now, like,
Okay, okay, no problem.
about this.
That's why we do, no sweat. That's why we do reviews. Or, so first we have to get figured out if we want to, if we really do want to change that structure. And then after that, we would either have a couple hundred more files being changed or not, if we're leaving them in place. And it might be the right thing to do to move them, or I'm not sure. One of the things about the integration pages is, well, if you go to something like datadoghq.com, if you would. Anybody use Datadog here before? Anybody seen Datadog? Meet, how about you? You ever seen Datadog? Yeah, no, yeah, it's an observability tool. So it's kind of like well, they collect logs and metrics and traces, and they actually have a few other products as well that don't do logs, metrics, and traces. Anyway, one of the very important things about a tool like this, if you want to get an understanding of how your infrastructure is running and how healthy it is, then you want to have a lot of you don't want to have to do context switching between different views. You want to you don't want to use different tools to look at your infrastructure and understand how it's doing. You lose context every time you switch between a screen or switch between a tool. And so the number of integrations that a tool like this has, it's very significant to the value that they offer. So if you go to datadoghq.com/integrations, they have many products. They have many products here. They've acquired a number of companies. And without the P, it's just integrations. They aggregate all of their integrations here on one page, even though these really come from disparate portions of their product. What I'm saying is, I mean, that's significant. That says something about the importance of the integrations. You can go to /integrations. Now, in this case, and this is new, they now redirect to /product/platform/integrations. So that's kind of interesting. There's any number of companies that you can go to their websites and go to /integrations. There's quite a few in this space. And that just says something about how prominent and how valuable that they are. So I'm just kind of wondering aloud, hey, should we have our integrations under /integrations? Especially since right now, if you visit the Layer 5 IO site, it has integrations as one of the top level menu items. It's one of the few, maybe the only one, that's just a link. Like, that's how important it is. There's nothing else other than just integrations. I think everything else has a sub menu. So the question is, should it just be Layer 5 IO /integrations? And who's working on that AMD logo? Somebody had put in a content, adjust fit, or a fit. What's it called? Content fit, or fit content. Have we merged that PR?
No, we have not merged that PR. Actually, it is overwriting the integrations directory. So like this, wouldn't that actually affect our sheet data fetching?
Yeah.
So like
Oh, you
I
mean
mentioned,
the logo that they're uploading, or the CSS that they're using?
I think he was fixing the this SVG logo. So like I mentioned him to like add this logo in the comment of the sheet.
Okay, but that doesn't really get us any further though, right? Like, because is he going to be able to put it in? No, because whomever it is doesn't have permission to do it, because it's super dangerous to change that spreadsheet. And so them putting it in a comment in the sheet, is it that much better than them having it in the PR? So whomever has permission to go right to the spreadsheet, they're going to have to grab it from somewhere anyway, right? So
Yeah,
we're just having them do extra legwork for no real helpful reason, I would think. I'll go follow up on that PRs since I'm one of the people that has the liability of having right to that spreadsheet. So yeah, thanks for answering that question. Yeah, please, if you guys would think about, does it make sense to have / integrations? How do any of you, like Tarun, who's on the call, or Shoria, how do you guys make that decision? How would you come back with an opinion about whether or not this page, all these integrations, should be at that top level layer 5 IO / integrations, or should it be underneath something else? Like what, I don't know. If for some of you, I would, if I were you, I'd be saying, is this a joke? Like, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Or I might be saying, well, okay, so part of how I might be able to think about that is just how the site is organized. Like, do these integrations, these are things that Meshery integrates with and MeshMap integrate with. Okay, so 2 of the products out there. Okay, so maybe it should be close to them. I don't know, but there's other products. There's Nighthawk. There's the Service Mesh Performance stuff. So I'd get kind of stuck on that train of thought. I then might think about something like search engine optimization. So this is the thing that we need to think about if we're moving around like where Meshery sits. If it sits under layer 5 IO / cloud native management Meshery, that tells Google, which tells the rest of the world that's searching for solutions, that this Meshery one is related to cloud native management. If we say it's / products, it doesn't indicate really what it's about necessarily. Now that statement unto its own doesn't dictate where Meshery should be placed. It's just a part of that consideration. And it's the same part of the consideration you'd want to make if you were to try to answer the question as to where the integrations, that structure should go. Okay, good. Those are 2 things to consider, but I don't know that if I were anyone else, including myself, I don't know that I would be confident coming back and saying, well, okay, it needs to be here and here's why. I might want some other. So there's another set of data to consider, a few other considerations. In the Figma files that we all share, there's a sitemap, and it organizes the site just like high level, what's being placed where's the blog and all the blog posts, where are the other resources, who doesn't have access to the Figma files? Does anyone not have access? Because you should all have it. I'm going to share a link to the sitemap design so you guys can look at it and reason over how the thing is structured. Really, it's the same set of questions as like, why would the site be organized in the way in which it is, and should it be changed? So Tarun, you have access to the Figma files? Tarun with a T on the end. Tarun. I'm gonna just keep saying it. Hey, Tarun, you there? I don't know. For some reason, your audio isn't coming through. I see your microphone's off now, or unmuted. We might have a microphone issue. Maybe that's why no one ever says anything back after you ask a question. I don't know. It's probably, we might have to use the chat, Tarun. So that brings me back over to Mr. Jain. Meet, that's your last name, right, Jain? Oh man, it is. It's Mr. Jain. Well, very good. Do you have access to the Figma design files?
No, I don't
Okay.
have.
Hey, yeah, let me share how to do that for everybody. So everybody can just make sure that you grab access. Just before I do that, I'm trying to find. Does everyone else think Figma is confusing? I'm trying to find sitemap. I'm going to share this link, although it's not the golden link that you would want. Oh, this isn't it.
By the way, I've shared a self-invite link for like layer 5 design files.
Oh, thanks. Okay. So you shared the link to how to be invited, how to get access to the design files, Vivek?
Yes, Lee, like they will have access to all the design files that are there in the layer 5, Figma.
Nice. So one of the ways to find this link is on any issue that has that's related to UI. They should all have a link in here under the contributor resources. We use these things. With their wireframes and designs for the layer 5 site in Figma. And here's the open invite link, which is the same one that Vivek has shared. Now, sure, this one says it's for the layer 5 site, but there are a number of Figma designs. And so depending upon what project you're in, it should be different. But there's, for everyone that's on the call, you should all have access to the Figma design files before you leave the call. If you don't, well, there wouldn't be any excuse. Wireframes and designs for Figma. So this is the same invite because it's the same team, but this is a link to a different design file. When you do retain access, you would then find that you're part of this team. In this team, okay, good. Here's the design files. All right, good. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a ton. There's so many pages in this one, and so many pages in this one. These two are just full of stuff. These other three, the assistant design system, the layer 5 sitemap, and Get Nighthawk, they're quite small. And that's fine. I'm just trying to orient you all to these files. So this is the file that we were just alluding to. This is the one that would be helpful, I think, to you all. If you were to think about like, well, I don't know, the integrations pages, should those be relocated and what would that mean? Part of what it means is just how are things organized? And so so for part of that answer, you would use something like this. So here, okay, good. So for Rushav and for Tharun, oh, Tharun, I see why you only put a T in now. Then Rasu. Tharun, then Rasu. Then Rasu. Is it then Rasu or then Rasu? It worked. Your voice is working so well that my voice comes through. Okay, Tharun, I muted you just because there's a feedback loop, so we couldn't hear. Cool. Okay, good. That's 2 more people that have access. That's great. All right, here's a link to the sitemap. So dig in, form an opinion, come back with an opinion. Cool. Yep. Archit, what else did you have for us today? You've been working on some pages, right?
Yeah, that's it like for today, but like I have created like all the solution pages except for the one that I was mentioning that that we can that already exists in Cloud Native Management Path and we can reuse that.
Okay, so for the new solutions pages that you've created, maybe we should take a look.
Yes, sure. I just need 2 minutes.
Sure. Well, Vivek, I guess that brings us up to Akshun, if he's here.
Yeah, but I'll quickly take a look if Akshan, yeah, looks like he is not, so we'll have to skip. Lakshya, do you mind sharing your item until Archit is ready?
Yeah, I'll share my screen. Um, so I was working on the assistant website, and we thought that we will add it as a separate section on the layer 5 site only for now. And like I'll first share the the progress and then some feedback. The one thing that we discussed with Lee was this should be like pretty similar to the handbook section. Like the top level navigation can be replaced with the sidebar on this design can be replaced with these cards that are on the handbook. So this will be the top level navigation, and I added for now these 3 pages as separate this basic done. And for level 2 navigation, I will add an accordion here. And the accordion is again I will reuse from it's present in many sections of the website. And apart from that, one more component was this navigation. This navigation I found on the events page actually. If I wanted to know if this should be good to reuse, right? And this navigation can be reused on like on the on this page. And yeah, this is the progress on till now in the assistant section.
Nice. Yeah. So for Rex, here's things.
Well, yeah, I was just already trying to reply in the chats. This is a good start, I guess,
Apology, Rex,
since
but
given upon last meeting. You can't hear me?
yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm sorry. I think apologies. Let me adjust something. Okay, I think that should be better now. So I was saying this is a good start. At least until we figure out what the original site is supposed to be like, hopefully, which will be sometime soon. But if you can have it like this, it's not a bad idea. The identity, if you could go in Lakshya, if you'd click on that there. So ideally, once you click on the identity here, what you should have where table of contents is identity, because you remember under identity, there are a couple of other elements. If you recall from the design. So that table of contents there should have identity as the heading. Do you understand? And then I don't know if you have access to open those components, because maybe I'll probably come in there on assistant and open up all of those ones we drop down. There are just 2 there, I think. So I'd open both of them so you see the content in there, and then you can itemize that. So it's just those contents. So there will be identity with the chevron to go back to the main navigation menu, as in place of table of contents. Then under identity, you have, if I remember correctly, typographic, color, spacing, visual spacing, and I think there are 2 other things, 2 other elements. I think we're up to 5. I can't exactly remember exactly. So that's under identity. Then under components, the table of contents again will have components, then the list of components. Do you understand? The initial plan was not to have a long list like that, but again, we can make concessions, at least in the meantime, pending when we're able to establish what is going on in the backend and how we can incorporate everything. Because the shared screen is showing now is ideally what it should be, because we don't want to have a long menu, where people have to scroll through all that menu. It should just be a case of, okay, these are components, search for a component, or just scroll if your component is among top components. But it's a good start, like I highlighted earlier. It's not a bad way to start, I guess. At least something is going on now. Hopefully we can build on that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one more thing was unclear to me, from the design So on the sidebar, like components is like a clickable thing, right? And it does has a separate page where like
Lakshya, sorry to interrupt, but if it would be helpful if you could zoom out. Yeah, you already did. Thank you.
yeah. So on the sidebar, the components is a separate page also, right? But the identity is not a separate page. It does has color and like spacing and everything, but not like the just similar to the components page.
Yes, why components is a separate page is because, like I said, I don't want us having a long nav bar there in the original website eventually when that happens. If I could, let me take this out. I don't know if you're seeing, okay, let me come to where you are and then do it so that so I'm taking this out now. And if I open this, you'd notice that, hold on. Are you, okay, you're not, can you zoom to where I currently am so that the share screen can, yeah, exactly. So if I'm opening this here, hold on. Visible options. Oh, okay. That's an error somewhere because the content of, there you go. Figma always does this, I don't know why. So what I meant was, once you have the table of contents, you replace that with identity, then you'd have this. For components, it could have been a drop down with a list of all the components, a very long list at that, because of course, there are a lot of components that needed to affect a solution. But in our case, we're trying to have them represented with cards so that it can be a bit more accessible and a bit of not too much volume on one side of the page, that kind of a thing. So yes, for components, you might decide to have 3 layers for components, where it can be a case of when it comes to components, then you still have the cards, or you can decide to go with the menu as well. That's, a call you can make, which won't be a bad idea either. So inside, when you go for components this time around, when you're in the components, instead of having a menu with a list of components, you can still have cards again, but this time with a list of components. Then when they click on a component, they go into the component. So that's something you might want to consider. About systems has not been fully worked on because most of these things might need to be, I don't know, we'd have to speak to.
Yeah, actually the about page is not on.
Yeah, so but since we are not using these immediately either, that's why I didn't bother with that. But I decided to focus on what we are using immediately. So
Okay.
yeah, good start. Hopefully you can build on it.
Okay, so like just to clear again, like this identity will be just an accordion, and if I click it, it won't open a new page, right? Like if I
Say
click
again.
just the identity,
If you want,
and if I click components, it would be take me to the components page. Like
yeah, to take you to either the card of components, or
Got it.
you go back to, navigate back to open the tab of, yes, something like this. So in place of table of contents, you can have identity, then about systems, identity components will instead turn to color, typography, spacing, page layouts, and elevation for identity. Then for components, you can either choose to have it like this, where table of contents changes to components, and then the list of components, or you can have components there and just cards, on the page like you did with the home page, but this time on this page, it's the card of components. Yeah. I hope this is acceptable across board. I'm just giving my 2 cents on how we can implement this pattern for now, since this is what will help us get something functional, at least in the meantime. So, yeah.
Okay, next for feedback. Anyone else have any feedback for Lakshya right here?
That's nice. Hey, I'll just point out something that Lakshya had said. That was there's an alternative navigation, like intra page navigator, in which there was kind of these tabbed menus. He had identified another, he had identified this as something that could be reused, which I think we see inside of something like identity, where it had like guides, colors, forget. I'm just bringing it back up in case it was missed
Yeah,
earlier.
that's I think this could work in the meantime for that. Yes, agreed. Pending when, because I think as a roll off from the last conversation, we already agreed that a few things had to be created on the code end of things, so to replicate what the design has. So yeah, I think that will start this week. I apologize for over the weekend. I had a really busy week last week, so I could barely touch most things. We had a visitor around. There was a lot of running around, so that's mostly inaccessible. Apologies to Shuria. He had tried to reach me many times, so hopefully it's a better week this time around. We'll see how it turns out. So yeah.
Yeah, Rex, no problems.
Thank you, everyone. I'll share my screen once again. And thank you, Laksh, for sharing your updates.
Yep, thank you.
Next up, we have Shari. So, Shari, do you mind giving your, updates on the.
Yeah, that's good. So I think you can see my screen. So I'm done with the page. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, so what the updated design was like this. So I was in touch with Rex this whole time, and I'm mostly done with the page. I was confused about one question. It's responsive also now. You can see here. One question I had about Rex, basically the background color of the page, it's not similar to what we have on the Meshri.io site. If you see what we have on Meshri.io, the color is a bit different from if you go to any go to catalog, for example. So the color is a bit different, and what Rex has given it's a bit different. So the images I imported here, they look different from the background, but on the mockup they look blended into the background. So I had question regarding that, and I needed these assets also to download from so that I can link it here. And yeah, that should be it. So yeah, that's the from my end. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so about that, I think you might want to maybe like Shia is currently doing, make use of maybe the buttons currently available, because these buttons they don't have a code equivalent. That's the one on the Figma designs, at least not yet.
Okay.
They are still it's still work in progress.
Okay.
And that was what I alluded to what we were discussing the last time. And then same as the colors. So you get that the background colors were a different color from the colors that are currently available on Meshri. And if that's something we can begin to work on immediately after this meeting and see how we can find a way around it. Maybe you'd use something else in the meantime and then come on. How did you implement that? The menu on this right, did you create that from scratch on this page? That
left
menu,
this one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I just created it from scratch itself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we already have something in code for that then, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
At
least
the routing,
your
add some transitions here to the routing as well. Now it's just routing very directly, but on the normal like if you see layer 5, the brand page, the routing is like it has an animation to it, so I have to add that animation as well. So yeah,
it's a good start. This is not exactly what it should be, but it's a good start nonetheless. One thing you should look out for is the typography. So you notice the headings, all the headings are Quinlas soft. You used Open Sans throughout.
okay.
That's not necessarily what we're going for. It's supposed to be a font pairing.
Okay.
Both Quinlas soft, Open Sans. That's on the one hand. And
Understood.
I think the spacing is a bit off as well. That's something we'll probably
Spacing
have to
here.
look into.
Spacing
Yeah,
here.
the
Yeah.
spacing to across the whole page. And follow. We'll probably have to work on the assets as well, because it looked like most of them are PNGs and
Yeah.
looking like screen unnecessarily SVGs.
So you suggest I should use the SVGs, right?
Yeah, they should be SVGs. I'll show you how you could possibly get them
Basically,
exported. We don't
I
have
didn't
access to the
have.
file.
So what issue I was facing is if I click on any asset here, so I don't think I
Go
have.
to go to export. Go to export. Click on the image, for instance. Click on that image, and you're clicking on the frame. Click on the image specifically.
Yeah, I clicked on this image, so you can see the bookmarks image. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have access. That is why I was asking. So whatever I have right now, I collected it from the repo itself. Some of the images I didn't have access to, so yeah, I just was asking you about that itself. Since export is section, so I can't. I don't have access to it. So yeah.
I see what you're talking about, because I have some files that I don't have access to, but I could still export something. So maybe that's something we can try and see if we can help you with, so that
Okay.
at least you'll be able to export those assets and then have something more to work with.
And the color, I think you can just let me know when it's finalized, so that I'll just make it according to that.
It's about 90% done. It's just making sure it aligns with code. That's where the current blocker is. And like I said, we'll probably start working on that immediately, because
Sure.
it has dragged on for too long. So let someone else say something, so that we don't waste too much time on covering
Sure.
this particular item.
Sure.
Yep. We'll talk on Slack later.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, that is it from my end. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. So just like already pointed it out, so I also wanted to say about the white spaces that we have.
Okay.
I think they can be reduced. So yeah.
Here, like the brand guide here, like
Yeah, in the different sections. Like if you there too, and if you scroll down, so yeah, brand guide, the button and Meshery, like the spacing is, I think.
yeah, I'll fix that. I'll make it uniform. All right.
Yeah. So I just quickly will ask for any other feedback if you have. So let's wait for 5 seconds and then we'll go to the next topic.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of necessarily giving feedback. Some of this might be addressed as Rex and Shoria iterate a bit, but one, the goal isn't to make it look exactly like Layer 5 IO. They're supposed to be of the same family, not twins necessarily. Or that isn't the goal per se. It's okay if they look the same. I mean, it's okay if they look really similar. It's also okay if they just sort of resemble one another, I suspect there's probably an iteration or two that will be done on the hero image, because it's still, well, it's garbage. I won't mince my words here. So anyway, that doesn't mean that folks won't iterate, and so they will. Yeah, the coloring of the behind the images. Yeah, you got to use SVGs everywhere. You shouldn't use a PNG anywhere.
Okay.
If you need to, it's a true exception.
Either WebP or either SVG, right?
I'm sorry?
Either you.
Yeah, either one would probably work. SVG is probably what you'd.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, either one would work.
Okay.
SVG is probably the deal, though. Probably. The background color behind the images, the logos that you have down below, is so one. There shouldn't be a Layer 5 brand guide. Nothing on here should say Layer 5.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Nothing should be
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Then I think
Zero.
Rex will have to. Yeah, I think Rex added that image. I think Rex will have to reiterate on that.
Sure. And that's fine. Even the assistant guide, like you can just say the assistant design system. Like
Okay.
it is extraordinarily evident that this community has made Meshery, and that will continue to be evident. And so but we don't need to point it out. Yes, not there anyway. Not any more than we already do.
Okay.
Good. yeah, if you scroll down a bit, we probably want to think of some other things that are different resources. So the bookmarks, sure, that's kind of nice. Although there's other resources that people might want, like presentation template. That would be great.
I think presentation template Rex was telling me that there's something he has to work on. That's promise. That's right. Yeah.
Sweet. And there might be other resources.
On that one, I'm not sure I found the location on the files I have. Maybe I've not I don't have access to it, or I don't know.
Yeah, we should make sure that you do. If you go to drive.google.com, you should have a drive called Layer 5 Community.
Layer
If you
5
don't,
community. I do not think I have that. Because I think you mentioned that I could get separate bookmarks from Mesri as well as presentation templates, but I'm not sure that.
yeah, try to visit that site, right? Because if you don't, then we should just stop everything else that you're doing. It's one of those resources that you should have had like the first week that you're here. It's got there's so much inside that drive, so many assets, so many visual assets, graphical assets, the bookmarks that you were looking for there, the templates that we're talking about. There's all kinds of stuff. Also, we probably shouldn't have mesh map on here. This is we can skip mesh map.
Okay.
I know they're really close together, but in this case, the reality is like the Layer 5, the mascot is really the Layer 5 mascot, not so much the Meshri mascot. I mean, it's okay. Like he's going to show up on Meshri stuff everywhere, and that's probably fine. There's a misspelling of Meshri on the page, but
Oh,
I don't know. I don't, yeah.
okay. Okay.
I don't know that
My-
heading illustration, probably not the most helpful thing.
Okay.
I think it's okay that there's like his name is 5 because it's after Layer 5. Like, so I don't know. I wonder if I don't know. It's probably okay that he's here. It's probably fine. I mean, look, he's juggling Meshri balls. He's on a Meshri skateboard. Like he's clearly focused on Meshri, so it's probably okay that he's here. It's just that yeah, it's fine. Cool. All right, that was my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Hopefully we
Lee.
get more like that going forward, because for me personally, most times I don't get feedback like that. I'd appreciate that a lot more. Thanks.
Once again for sharing updates. Sorry. So next up we have Aspers with his update on adding animations. So Aspers, like, can you?
Yeah, I am available. Let me share my screen. Okay.
If you could make it full screen, so
Oh yeah, actually one on. I made some changes as Ritik suggested to in GitHub that you have to make it from bottom to top, not top to bottom. And so I have done that as well. You may have a look. That's all. And if you have any suggestion, please let me know. I've also shared a video on GitHub and mentioning that I have tried some more animations like styles, and if anyone got any suggestion, they can suggest me with that. Which one should I use? For the time, I'm going with it.
okay. So for now, this is just one animation that you added, right?
He asked me to do only one animation.
Yeah. If you could, if you could refresh, so we can have another look.
Yeah, please.
So Whoa, you see in the right, if you, that was like big, in the right side, the cards that were there, the overlapping ones, they were too much. But that's fine. So yeah, like Ritik was, taking a look, but he's not here. So I'll ask for any other feedback. I mean, anyone, if you think anything could be enhanced here or any suggestions you have, so you can speak right now. So what Aspers has done here is like he's adding animation that would be like from bottom to top. Is that right? In the top section, right, Aspers? Aspers is not audible. I think he's having some problem. So yep, I'll share his preview link. You all can go and check it out. I'll share my screen. Yeah, so next up we have item from Victoria about replacing photos. So Victoria, do you mind sharing your updates?
Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got an internet failure, so I really apologize for that.
So I worked on the community page. We have some pictures of with this guy, and here at the bottom of the page, both on the community page and on the careers page as well. So my task was to replace these pictures with images of life. So I've worked on this earlier and I received some feedback, one of which is that 5 should not be covered in color. So originally this bottom image here, the 5 was covered with color. So now I've adjusted that. So 5 is clearly visible. And this image was a PNG image. So I've changed it to an SVG image. But the problem I was having with the SVG images I was using earlier is that it's pixelated. I don't know why, but when you zoom on it, it gets pixelated. This one looks better, kind of, compared to the other ones I used.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be deceiving.
So
you can be looking at a file that ends in .svg. However, it could still actually contain a PNG, which is really kind of a weird thing. So a lot of times it's deceiving the top level file, SVG, and there might be some vector graphics inside. And at the same time, a portion of it might be rasterized. A portion of it might be PNG. One way that you could tell is by doing what you were just doing, Victoria, and that's like zooming in and seeing if anything pixelates. And so because it does pixelate, it's probably not
so
pure.
I may see it to work. I may see it to work on this one.
Oh, okay. Got you. You were just highlighting the fact that you know about this and you're going to work on it. And so, cool. Yeah, yeah, a lot of,
So this
sometimes
is
that
for the
happens.
community page. Then the careers page, I think. Then on the careers page, this. Yeah. So I think the one for the career page looks good. So I need to work on the image for.
Well, I don't know. Does it? Is it just like being on TV, puts on 10 pounds, or did he really gain some weight? If you go back and look at 5, guy's got some chubby cheeks. I don't know. Is that
this one?
The
This
very
one?
last. Yeah. I could be wrong, but he looks like he's putting on some weight on his midsection there. It's very subtle. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Gosh,
Yeah,
go prove me wrong. Go.
I tried. Yeah. But I was very careful to not skew the image. So I scaled it so that it retains the aspect ratio. So
Yeah,
I
totally.
think this is I'll compare it with the original sticker image.
See, yeah, compare his weight from before and after. Sort of put him on the scale, see if he's any heavier. Can you do me a favor? Do you mind taking the width of your browser and maybe playing with it a little bit, sort of adjusting the width of your browser? That might give you a quick indication as to whether or not he's getting squeezed or not stretched. But it sounds like you're already quite conscientious of not skewing the image. So it like never happens.
Is this what you mean?
It might not be skewed. Like I might be misremembering how chubby the guy really is, you know? So I don't know.
Maybe I added some weight.
And anyway, one of the ways to help prove that outside of just our eyeballs looking at it is to take a look at the code that's used to display it. And it says it's got a certain height specified, and then a certain max width. Yeah, we have to go look. I don't know. So close.
Right, I'll look at it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Nice. Great job. Thank you for that. There's another. Yeah. I mean, nobody. Yeah. I know it sounds kind of funny when I say it, but the reality is, like, we don't need my face. As a matter of fact, I'd like a picture of each of you on the site. I would like that. Not only on your profile pictures, but on the community page, there is a carousel that happens as maybe like the second or so. I think it's like the main. Thanks. I think it's right around here.
Yes, like a slider. Yes.
Some of these were great. You know, these are
This
good.
one.
That stuff happened, and that's nice.
This one.
And yeah. How did we only end up with like 4 pictures or something? This is ridiculous. There's all kind. Anyway, these can all go, or at least the ones with me in them. And that's Zach Butcher, by the way, the other guy that wrote this book. I had to carry his butt across the finish line. I tell you what, the guy owes me big time. He's a super bright guy, really nice, but he got busy at the end. I had to go carry his heavy rear end across the finish line. It sucked. He deserves me to say that every time. I've said it on public stage. I'll say it again every time I'm going to say it. Anyway, all those images should go. There should be images of other folks, other things, lots of other things have occurred. Including there's one page that has a short video in which I can't, like, Lee tries to explain what is layer 5, and it's a high quality video, but it's garbage content, I think. So like we could definitely replace it. I'm not sure. It was on like one of the other pages that you were looking at. It might have been the newcomers page. I don't know. I guess it's not that.
It's not here. Yeah, but Lee's asking for the video on
careers.
which career. Okay.
I think, yeah. the programs or the careers or there's surprised anybody still applies because that video is there. Like, yeah, it's just, it's, we don't need that video. We need something else. So, I mean, a video is great. It's just, not that. Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you for getting those replaced.
So thank you for sharing updates, Victoria. And we are already 7 minutes over. So like we couldn't cover, a lot of other items that were based on other websites, but definitely we'll be covering the next meeting. And so like if you also want to, join other community and projects meeting, so there is one on Wednesday, and this is a link. Not this one, but calendar. I'll quickly open it up. I'll also share this in chat. And if you subscribe to this calendar, it will, send all the updates to you. So you can join all the other meetings too. So yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday if you join that meeting. And if any one of you want to, get an overview on the community and projects, you can also join newcomers meeting to, refresh your memory about the community and what are the things that are going around. So thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you, next Monday if you join. Bye till then.